Boy, howdy, they caught me working again. Well, you're gonna catch me working. Boys are out in the woods. They're out in the bush. Trying to get some stuff done for a customer that's... Anyways, so I'm gonna bring you along today for some... Is that all the higher you go? That's all the higher you go. I'm gonna bring you along today for some rebuild of Planetaries. Stay with me now, because I'm gonna show you what we're up against and what this gentleman found in his Planetary because he did his maintenance. This is a lesson. This is a very good lesson. This is potentially you know, we always say what ifs, but whatever. This is the Planetary out of a Ponsse Buffalo, like vintage 2009, I want to say. At the wheel, the lug nuts go here, the lug bolts, studs. At any rate, enough of the bullshit. He found something the size of a pea, a flat piece, inside when he changed his oil, hooked to the magnets. There's 3 magnets in there for your drain. And he found a little piece, something like, let's just say something like this. And he's like, well, everything else looks good. And I said, well, bring it over if nothing else. So we brought 2 of them over, and Kyle ripped them apart the other day on the bench here, and this is what we found. Collapsed needle bearings. So they still worked. That was the weirdest thing. It wasn't weird, it was the gears, all the sun gears here still spun on there, and everything felt perfect. It felt perfect, and I'm like, nope, rip it apart. We got to rip it apart and see. So if he would have went this season on that, more than likely, each one of these Planetaries complete is about, I think, when I looked, it's about 7 grand. 6 or 7. Well, let's just take the shy side of 6, and let's say that 2 of them went to hell. Well, there's 12 grand. And in needle bearings, in this box here, is about $600 of replacement parts. That's for 2 of them. Plus my time, whatever it's going to be to go through them. I just got everything out of the parts washer, and the guys are gone, so I'm taking this time to make a video for you guys to show you what can happen and how that one little chunk, don't discount it. Dig in a little deeper. There's not supposed to be chunks in there. The fine glitter, that's one thing. The fine glitter is one thing, but that's normal, kind of normal wear in there. But when you see a chunk, get that thing ripped apart and figure it out. Figure out what's going wrong. So I'm going to switch over cameras, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here is show you how simple it is to rebuild these technically. If and when you can pull this guy off. This is a bear to get off, and the bolts are torqued and Loctited in pretty hardcore. So we got our own ways of popping them off because everything in here is machine fit. And okay, well, I'll bring the camera back on to me in a little bit. So here we are. Handy. So I'm going to do is start putting this together for you guys. I just got everything out of the parts washer, but we still want to make sure everything is super clean. You got your thrust washers. That 80-90 that's in there, and now they're using synthetics and stuff, but that 80-90 that's in there is some slippery stuff. And you're going to see, I'm not going to put any grease on it at the moment, because I'm going to have the customer, it's got to travel back up to his shop. There's a little piece of, you got to make sure every piece is clean, man. Every piece. Okay. Why is that wrong? I have to address that one for the other one. Little snoogie on there. Okay, so those are on. Those are your thrust washers. And here we have the new bearings. And what they did, if you see, apparently there was a service boat. And apparently them longer cages, let me see if I can show you. They're doing 2 for 1. For some reason, these cages were too weak right in here or somewhere. And they were, whatever they were doing, disintegrating. And again, it is 12 years old, so at any rate, pretty straightforward. Drop on. Wells lager. I know. Well, let me get my astute little thing out. Gotta have one of these in your pocket all the time. So basically, I'm just showing you what happened and how to do it over and why that matters. That little bit of stuff in the old oil, and why you need to change your oil in your Planetaries like they tell you to. If let's just say these let this go, it would be, let's just say it's $6,000. 6 times 4 of these, just on one axle, one rear bogie, both sides would be 20. Well, 6 times 4 is more than it's $24,000 potentially that this guy saved by spotting that little piece in that oil and on the magnet. So I was very, very proud of him. I gave him an attaboy and everything, because that's what good maintenance is. Preventative maintenance. Saving yourself thousands of dollars by spending hundreds. Hope that all makes sense to you guys. It does to me. So basically, yeah, that's it. You're looking to get everything clean as a whistle, and then just reassemble with the new bearings. It's pretty straightforward on these. In here too, this is the top thrust washer, and it has to line up. That little notch will line up into this cover right here. So we have to make sure that them are right, in the right place, so we don't squash her and bend them. That one too looks like it's got a little, oh, we're good. I can tell you there was some side thrust on that one. Pretty straightforward, just got to make sure that tab is pointed outward. I'm going to trade this while I do that other one off camera, because I got a whole nother one to rebuild here. And I'm old school. I like to, everything that came out of one, even though they're identical parts, everything that came out of one, I wanted to put it back into one. If that makes sense to you guys, because that's where it came from, and that's how I do it, and that's kind of how I was taught. So, and then here too, you'll notice on this, there is one, I gotta double check here with my camera and my eyeballs. Ooh, there's some crud down in there I want to get out. Kyle did the washing of these parts the other day, and I'm just following up while they're gone, taking some fun time. Okay, so we pretty much got those washers lined up. These are dowels. They will go into that screwed machined hole. That's the hardest part about getting these apart. After you get the Loctited bolts out with the super impact, you got to line these up and get them back in those, and then torque them back down so they do not come out. So I thought, I could be wrong. Sometimes I am. That happens. Anyways, we're going to put her together. Let's see what happens. I got this one. Everything is smooth. Smooth. Dowels should be hardened bushings, so we should be good there. So like I said, all I gotta do is line up those washers into these notches. I could, and I probably should, we'll see how this goes. I could have greased them and put them on there and then set it all down, but technically, a little cleanup on here. Technically, this is just going to drop right in. With any luck and finger smashing, we're going to put that on. Tappy tap it in there. See, that lobe is a little bit different, and that's what I got to wonder about when we took it apart. I didn't take them apart, so. It is a tight T-I-T-T-E fit. Just double checking. There you can see that. You can see that washer. That one's lined up. That one's not lined up. That one's lined up. So what I'm going to do basically is go find a rubber knucker and be right back. Okay, I'm back with a Sacco Garland hammer. These are the best. Made up in Maine. So I'm just going to gently bring that down on there. Check my washers. That's why they're a son of a bitch to get apart. I forget, we made a puller, I think Kyle made a puller to, I don't remember what he did. He did something. And there it is, pretty much seated. So, that's basically it to rebuilding a Planetary. So what I'll do now, when I send it back to the guy, is we will have him probably squirt a bunch of 80-90 in here, because I want it dry now while it goes, because then he can blow it out if he has to. He's going to put it in the back of his pickup, and we'll put it in a plastic sack or something, and then he's going to bring me the other two, and we're going to rebuild those also. And then so basically, I got to find the torque spec. I got to wire wheel these things and torque the bolts down again after I put some more of that good thread locker on there from, you know, Henkel or whatever it is nowadays. But that's basically it. And like I said, if you don't want this, and $6,000 or $7,000 a piece for those Planetaries, change your oil in everything. That's why they have 1,800-hour services and 900-hour services. And whatnot. But yeah, that's gonna be mucho grande. Mucho grande. Maybe I should just whale the other one together quick while you're here. Nah, that's good. We will, let me see if I can just mount this camera. I guess we'll see it from there. That's whatever. It's pretty straightforward. But getting that collar off was is a beast of a job. I don't know, like I said, Kyle did it. I just cleaned everything up. He told me, Mike, put it together while we're gone today. So I put it together, and I'm gonna put the other one together, and then that's it. This is a Planetary from a Buffalo, Ponsse Buffalo. So I hope you got something out of it. It's not that technical, but there again, like I said, I just repeat myself because it's got to get drilled into your head as owners of machinery. That felt perfect. Those gears spun perfect with that in there. Well, obviously the other pieces were still contained in there, but until we pulled that out, it all fell apart. Just went. So there's actually 8 bearings in there, but only 4.5 are, well, this one ain't even either. So 3 of them are complete rings yet. The other 5 were not, but they appeared to be. And everything was in there. That's what I'm trying to reiterate. Everything was in there. It was captured in its own little spot because it's inside that. It's inside of this. It's in that gear. But that one piece came out and was the indicator, and that's what we like. We like indicators, so we can. There's a little piece of one too. Little bitty piece of the cage. Anyways, I will end it here because I'm going to put that other one together, and that's what I'm going to do. So thanks for watching, subscribe, and if you like to make sure that I do more longer videos, make sure you comment. It helps me help you. Okay, enough of my BS. Have a great day. See you, bye.